You are now watching Zaclasage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Zaclasage here. Yo, today we're going to be covering over the grand finals of the late night series number 14. I was able to live stream this and live commentate it for, live on Twitch. Check it out every single Monday on the Atlas TCG stream around 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we cover the top 16. Now we have the grand finals, so we have Frank playing Suicune Ice Rider versus Richard playing Single Strike Umbreon. We'll have to see exactly who's able to take it. I mean, we already know the results, right? And if you don't, I'm not going to spoil it for any of y'all. Let's watch this exciting gameplay. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out the description to sign up for the next Late Night Series events. So here we are in the grand finals. We've had over 225 players play in the Late Night Series number 14, and it's all the way down to Suicune versus Single Strike. Both players have seen a lot of success throughout this event, although Franki has been cutting through those Single Strikes all throughout the night. We'll see exactly how it plays out here, but so far, so good for both players. Now, Richard on the other side has seen a lot of success. Let's go through their list a little bit while the games kind of open up. I think it's always good to kind of review what we're working with here, peeps. It's the way that I always like to see exactly what's going on. If you're watching live on Twitch right now, that's sick. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, that's also sick. I stream these events on the Atlas TCG Twitch every single Monday, starting at the top 16 cut, usually around midnight Eastern time on every single Monday. And I put the video up shortly after the grand finals is up, maybe a day or two after, once it's all edited and stuff like that. So popping up these lists, we're going to start off with Richard's list here. Richard is playing a standard single strike list, 4-4 Houndoom, 3-2 Umbreon, 3-2 single strike. It's one of those things where everything seems pretty good over here. I don't really see any like crazy changes here. I see that there's one Tool Scrapper, no Tool Jammer. That might hurt against the Suicune deck that plays Cape of Toughness. Suicune's recently kind of dipped out of the metagame, so a lot of players have been cutting Jammers and cutting Tool Scrappers. So there's the one Tool Scrapper to get around the Cape of Toughness, but that might be a needle in the haystack for Richard. So automatically, I think the matchup is going to likely go into Frank's favor. Frank is playing a straight-up Suicune deck with a 1-1 Ice Rider line. You got the whole Drizzile set up and Inteleon with quick shooting. They opted to go for a triple quick shooting, so maybe some extra damage pings. But you want to what? This looks like a pretty good setup. If you are Richard, they do have all those extra energies on the single strike Urshifu V in the active. And I don't think Blizzard Rondo is necessarily going to get a knockout here. So it might be a little bit awkward for Frank this turn. How's Frank really going to play it out? They could go Boss's Orders, take a cheeky prize card on the bench. They could go with... maybe they'll just try to set up a bench. I'm not entirely sure. So, let's see how this turn really plays out. I mean, there's not a lot going on Frank's side. Like, it's just kind of down to, will Drizzile be able to do anything? And that's really not a lot of damage for a Blizzard Rondo. If Richard follows us up with a knockout, could be bad news for Frank. We might be seeing a quick game 2. All right, let's see what Richard's going to dig through the deck here. I mean, there's a lot of different Pokemon that Richard could go. Maybe it's just going to be going after that Sobble on the bench. That might just be the wave. Although Frank does have outs with Capture Energy, so I don't know how great it actually would be. I'm not sure. It goes back and forth big time here. Okay, Crobat. I mean, Richard has to be looking for something, right? Sometimes Marnie be like that, though. Like, you hit a Marnie, you play a Marnie, and you just draw into nothing. I mean, I feel sometimes I play Research and I draw into nothing. Pokemon's an interesting game because there is a luck factor when it comes to drawing cards, right? There's no guarantees. Needs one more single strike energy for the KO. Right now, well, there's that Cape of Toughness that I think is preventing that KO. So I think the Cape of Toughness is going to be the biggest struggle here. Okay, looks like it's just going to be a quick boss's orders. And I mean, with all the way that things are kind of set up on the bench, how much damage will this Blizzard Rondo be doing? The Melanie might work out there, but I think going Capture Energy... Actually, Fleet-Footed might be the wave here. I don't know if that was the best play. Really gives Suicune an opportunity to attack. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it how that plays out. I think it's kind of it goes back and forth, right? Like, I think you got to go I think you got to go Capture Energy here first. Maybe you go Melanie first. Like, I think you have to grab like an Ice Rider or a Suicune, like something. I mean, that's one way to kind of play around it. I mean, Frank is kind of getting a decent setup here. I like those Hollow Sobbles. They're looking pretty cool. But that is the knockout, right? Like, it did leave that single strike defenseless. And, like, how does Richard really come back from this? That's the big question. Richard maybe goes for an Umbreon VMAX and gets Tool Scrapper out this turn. I think that would be a really good one. Maybe knocking out Sobble this turn would be good. But it doesn't necessarily look great for Richard either. It could really be anyone's game is what I'm trying to say. It's just like, I don't know if I like that boss's orders on the Sobble. I don't know if I like it any better to attack into the active, or if a knockout there would have been good. I think it's just like, again, Suicune just seems to be like the favored kind of Pokemon in this matchup. And I think Frank's doing that one really well. There's no Tool Jammer in Richard's list, by the way. I could be wrong. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it's only one Scrapper. They went for a Scrollless Scorn instead. So a lot of players have been cutting the Scrappers and cutting the Jammers from their list just because Suicune's taken a bit of a kind of backseat in the event. So it's like, in terms of just like the text for the matchup, Frank has the edge here. Like, there's no Jammer. There's just one Scrapper. But if they find it, they find it. They're already down triple Urn, too. So we'll see how they play it out. I mean, if we get a knockout on the Suicune, or maybe even knockout on the Sobble, things could be a little bit different here. I think all those Urns in the discard pile, it's going to hurt. Of course it's going to hurt. But it's not like Frank has like a lot going on in their hands. Yeah, they really need to find that Scrapper. Maybe look at the knockout on the Suicune on the bench. I think you gotta get the knockout on the Sobble, though. Oh, the Ice Rider. Okay. I mean, they get the knockout on that one, too, right? I like this. It kind of, like, gives the Umbreon 2 punches. Then the single strike Urshifu comes in for the last hit. I don't know. Might have, Richard might be in the driver's seat again with that play. The way that everything's kind of sifting through here. I like it. Because, yeah, they're going to attack with Suicune. They're not going to get the knockouts. Single strike, the Scrollless Scorn does get the knockouts. And then that single strike Urshifu V, if it's able to evolve, should be able to get the knockout at the end. If that makes any kind of sense, right? Like, we're just looking at the way that Richard has set up the board state. They're like, okay, cool. This Umbreon should not get knocked out. We can knock out the Suicune because of single strike Scrollless Scorn, or we should be able to bring something else up, and then we have the single strike Urshifu VMAX. This would be a really cool turn for Frank to kind of go for boss's orders, maybe knock out something different if there's a possibility of doing that. Maybe knocking out the Crobat this turn would just be better, because it might actually prevent Richard from drawing a prize card next turn, which would put them in a much better position in my opinion. So I think boss's orders to me seems like the absolute wave here. But that's just me. So we'll see if Frank's able to figure that out, see what's going on. Scroll is super helpful in this match. But sometimes it could be a one-hit too. You got to think about all the Inteleons with quick shootings. It doesn't look like there's any bosses. Is there just like no boss in this deck? There's triple boss in the Suicune deck. Maybe I just missed them, or maybe they haven't been played. But like the extra energies don't actually even matter. I think that's actually like, if they're gonna attack, I think using the Fan of Waves there is just a mistake. That's literally like giving the opportunity for the single strike Urshifu to have the energy on the bench. That was like literally the nicest thing that I think that Frank could have done for Richard, because Richard just gets an extra energy. And it's going to be able to get the knockout with single strike Scroll of Scorn, right? Because the way that single strike Scroll of Scorn works, if anyone's wondering, it's not a common played card. It does 10 plus 10 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And it's just an extra attack, right? So right now it's doing 10 plus 240, 250. Then there's 2 single strike energies, so it's doing 290. So they only need 1 fighting energy to use that Furious Anger attack. So by Frank giving that energy back into the deck, now there's just the opportunity for Richard to just checkmate here. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're playing your matches out and thinking about these plays while removing an opponent's energy could be really cool. In this case, it actually worked out, again, favorable for Richard. So we'll see. That Marnie, again, there's a big hand for Frank. Whole bunch of cards that are slightly getting better with those double Drizziles. I think Richard's just absolutely stealing this game at this point. It's going to take game 1. So now Richard's down to 1 prize card, and Richard's board state says, hey, knock out the Umbreon and knock out the single strike Urshifu V. I got you on both. I would have liked to see an Umbreon V go down just to see the ability to be able to bring something else up, but it looks like single strike might be advancing game 1. Now there is that boss's orders. Again, that boss's orders would have been so helpful to play last turn, and it does. Are we going to see a concession? We are seeing Frank concede game 1, and Richard is up 1-0 in the series. So jumping into game 2, we got Frank starting with the Suicune. I mean, Suicune with an energy and having fleet-footed as an ability is not bad. Your opponent mulliganing, not bad. Really seems okay for Frank. Not necessarily having the access to Sobbles right now, but maybe Richard will be able to... Okay, you want to know what? That Capture Energy is a great top deck. I think Capture, just using fleet-footed there is great, because it gives you a higher chance of getting Sobbles. So the correct order of operations from Frank there, grabbing a Sobble, looking through the deck, and seeing what's going on. Maybe we'll see that Fan of Waves play again. I saw we see Frank looking for it, but Sobble seems really good with Drizzile. So just a simple pass. All right, jumping back onto Richard's side, having access to that professor's research, there's a Houndour, there's that Umbreon. Will we see another Houndour? That's a big question. Oh, okay, so we didn't see the first research. I was quickly mistaken. Will we see more Houndour? That's going to be the big question. Because that's really, I feel like, Single Strike plays out. It's the search for Houndour trading card game. And we do see a Capture Energy. That Capture Energy is I gotta double check the attack there for a good old pal Single Strike Urshifu V. I believe Laser Focus takes a Fighting Energy. So we won't be able to see a Laser Focus this turn, but we do see double Houndour. Okay, oh? Okay, I was gonna be like, Frank! Special energies, like they can always attach extra energies in this matchup. Okay, so we are going to be able to see a turn 2 Blizzard Rondo here from Frank. I don't think we could really hope for too much more. But the hand's looking a little bit awkward. I'd like to almost see an energy go down on one of these other Pokemon, just in case a Single Strike, a Rapid Strike Inteleon needs to attack. I think we do need to see another Sobble as well, because there is that Scoop of Nets. We could see another, maybe another Suicune, right? Because, I mean, I guess there's that Scoop Up Net. So, I mean, there's outs. There's a 140, not enough for a knockout. I think this is really the point of the game where Richard just has to really, like, set up for a knockout. Right? Like, so far, like, it's just, like, get that knockout on the Suicune and hopefully survive another attack. If Richard's able to stream 2 prize card knockouts first, the rate of drawing prize cards is going to be higher than Frank's, and they will be able to take the series. So we'll have to see how that ends up playing out. Okay, there's that's gonna be enough for that Single Strike Urshifu to get the knockout, and that's another huge Marnie from Richard. Will that Marnie brick Frank's hands? I don't know. It's there's Drizzile. It didn't really look like brick the hand, to be honest. Yeah, pretty good Marnie hand, right? They will have the Marnie they will have the water energy in the discard pile after the Suicune V is knocked out. So with the Single Strike energies, it does look like that Suicune V is going to get knocked out. Okay, let's see how Frank can really jump back into this game. We need to see the Single Strike, or sorry, we need to see Suicune come back to knock out the Single Strike. That's the big play. It's tough because they have to discard something else. Maybe that Drizzile can grab 2 cards with the Capacious Buckets. Yeah, definitely should have promoted the one with the energy. Not entirely sure what happened there. It's a little bit of an unfortunate, maybe it's like a late night mistake. There happens to be like the late night phenomena is the way that I kind of like to look at it. Where when players are playing this late at night, sometimes it can lead to some interesting gameplay choices. I'll say interesting at yeah, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning here, peeps. It happens to everyone, and depending on where they are in the world too, that's 3 o'clock on the East Coast, right? So like if you're in California or like Seattle or something, yeah, midnight's not too bad. It's a long day for everyone, and you've been playing for like a hot minute. If you're playing anywhere like going closer out east, or towards Europe or even South America, the time zone differences can be very difficult to deal with. So that play did work out, but we did lose access to the Inteleon with quick shooting. Would have liked to see a fleet-footed before we benched those as well, just to see if there was any other options. I mean, at this point, Blizzard Rondo just seems like the absolute correct play, and we are going to see the response knockout. Now, one thing that it looks like Richard can respond here with an Umbreon V or an Umbreon VMAX and really kind of set up for that same kind of game win. Yeah, those Houndooms are like guard dogs for that bear, 100%. It's playing the Houndoom trading card game. Now, I'm not entirely sure what Richard's doing here. It looks like they're just maybe thinking for a hot minute. Maybe they're debating the correct order. I mean, Umbreon V seems like a must. There's the Umbreon VMAX. So, I mean, that is going to give it a little bit more HP. So there's I mean, so far for Richard, it looks like a great game for them. But do they not have access to the energies in the deck or the urns? I'm not entirely sure. The single strike roar should have definitely happened beforehand. Not sure how that played out or why it played out like that. Maybe they played the urn and I just completely gapped and blinked here. It's getting late for me here too, peeps, is the way that I like to look at it. But that max darkness is enough to get a knockout there, and I mean, they win the game with either Tool Scrapper or Single Strike Scroll of Scorn. That's a mouthful. Single Strike Scroll of Scorn. SSSS. The quad S. They won't be able to get a knockout here on the Umbreon. Even if they get double Inteleon, well, maybe double Inteleon does bring it a little bit closer. They have 270. Double Inteleon brings them to 230. No, they cannot get the knockout no matter what. So Richard's relatively chilling. It's going to be a big turn if Richard might just have dub on board, to be honest. So, Melanie, we also have to understand too that Frank has to get set up again. They do have the energy, so they will be able to hit hard here. Maybe just Ice Rider. You probably don't want to put Ice Rider down on the bench. You probably don't want to put down another 2 prize card Pokemon because that does take away the Cape of Toughness win condition. If there's an Umbreon VMAX, it does give Richard kind of an infinite out here. So you don't want to put a 2 prize card Pokemon down by any means. Because of boss's orders, Umbreon VMAX, any of them are just really tough to deal with. They are looking for the Cape of Toughness. Okay, so they are grabbing nothing there. Looks like the Evolution Incense is probably going to grab a quick shooting Inteleon. I don't see a reason why not to at this point. Take the extra damage throughout the rest of the game. It kind of increases things very quickly. We are going to see that retreat. Yeah, I don't know what if I think they just want to grab the quick shooting Inteleon. They could definitely evolve. I think Frank just needs that extra damage throughout the rest of the game to have a chance here. But it is looking a little bit tough with the quick shooting targets, right? With 4 prize cards left, and it's not a knockout here again. We're gonna see, will Richard be able to take it? Okay, Richard is saying well played. Is Richard going to be the late night series champion? There's a single strike scroll of Scorn, and it is going to be able to hit for a bunch of damage with Furious Anger. What an exciting finals. I wasn't really expecting Richard to take it, especially looking at the list, but you want to know what? Richard was able to persevere and take it. Congratulations to Richard for winning, for Frank for coming second, everyone who watched the videos or watched the live stream or participated. I really appreciate everyone. And of course, a huge shout out goes to our sponsors, PTC Geo Store, for sponsoring our code cards. You can use code ZELASSAGE5. That's in the description, by the way, if I just blur that too much. ZELASSAGE5 to save 5% on your next order of codes, or you can go to Atlas Collectibles, pick up some in real life staples or some sealed products, whatever you need. I'm gonna go edit this video and make sure that we can get up on YouTube ASAP, so I'll catch up with all y'all later. Thank you so much for watching, peeps. Have a great one and peace out. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.